Hello, I'm Dr. Ben Newman. I study coronaviruses. That's my job, and I take on the extra job of trying to answer your questions. So here we go. Our next question is from Rosalind or Rosalind. Yeah, I guess depends which side of the pond we're talking. Or yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, hello and welcome. Let's see. Hi, I have a simple question. Why don't we use microwaves to sterilize our face masks? Yeah. Okay. I wash my triple layered homemade face mask daily but between washes, I remove the metal nose clip and zap the mask for 2 minutes in a microwave dish containing a little water. That should kill the coronavirus, right? Yeah, sure does. So you could heat the coronavirus to, let's see, I believe it's 56 degrees for 30 minutes, and that kills it completely. 90 degrees or 95 degrees Celsius, like getting close to boiling, I think that is almost instantaneous. I'm trying to remember the kill time that I saw on a paper. I thought it was like 2 minutes. Yeah. And what you'll see in some testing labs, like our testing lab, is that we'll actually cook the virus for like samples that we know probably have the virus in them from people that we're going to test. Cook them for 30 minutes at 95 degrees Celsius. Yeah, this is like sous vide cooking, only a little bit harsher, actually. And that absolutely annihilates the virus, but leaves enough of the RNA intact that you can actually still do the PCR and figure out, yeah, did they have it or not? Yeah. Um, so, yeah, is this okay? The answer is probably, but not in a way that has been validated and not in a way that would be guaranteed to work every time. So I think for the most part, mask manufacturers, um, there's standards you have to meet, and you would have to. So there's a big range of what a microwave can be. There are some that put out a lot more energy than others, and you would have to make sure that for like a wide range of different microwaves that nothing bad would happen. And I think if you heat any mask up enough, if it's made out of, let's say, some kind of plasticky material, like some kind of synthetic, you would be able to get it to a point. I haven't microwaved enough fabric in a mic to know for sure. But I feel like you could get it to a point where you would start to fuse the fibers together to where they either wouldn't allow much airflow or where you maybe actually open up gaps that would allow too much airflow. And I don't know that you could be sure that it wasn't. Now, a cloth mask, if it's made of stuff like cotton, I feel like that's probably just fine. Linen, I don't know what they make masks out of, like, or what your one's made out of, but I think that's probably okay. And yeah, you're still walking around and don't have the virus yet, from what I'm gathering. And so, yeah, I think it's working. Yeah. So I think it's basically the same deal as why. Remember back in the old days when you could not have you had to have your computer off during takeoff and landing and switch to airplane mode and whatever. The reason wasn't because planes would automatically crash if there was a cell phone turned on. As we found out, yeah, a lot of people did have cell phones or would just forget that they had their cell phone on and yeah, the plane was okay. It was that there are a bunch of different kinds of cell phones, and it was more a case of can you prove it definitely that every single cell phone that's out there will actually not cause anything bad to happen. And that just seems like a whole lot of work. And so the way they finally got around it was they had this flight, as I understand it, that was just full of iPads and every kind of cell phone. And they just had them all, I imagine them strapped into all the little seats and running happily, doing Wi-Fi and whatever calls and whatever. And yeah, I managed to take off the plane, land the plane, no big deal during the flight, no instrument failures. And with that, that was then enough data that they could say that, yeah, this is actually fine. But it was more a case of like an abundance of caution. So that is, I think, what's going on with the mask manufacturers. I think we've got our abundance of caution approach. And I think if it's a cloth mask, those are going to be a situation where you would know better what is in it, what is in the mask, and what it's made of, and how it would respond to repeated heating and cooling, like of microwaving. So, yeah, long way of saying Probably all right with the kind of mask you've got. Not sure if it would work with every kind of surgical mask and every kind of microwave. I'm using that abundance of caution right now just because I'm not sure. I think it would probably be okay at a certain time and at a certain length, certain amount of water in there. And it would definitely get rid of the virus. That's for sure. Yeah. So it's just a question of would you still have a functional mask at the end or not? And I don't see any reason why you wouldn't, but at the same time, I cannot be categorically certain you would. So that's it. Yeah, so I think what you're doing is fine. And keep it up. And it sounds like, yeah, you know what you're doing. And it sounds like you're taking this seriously, which I like a lot. Okay, that's as much of an answer as I can give you. Thanks very much. This has been Ask Dr. Ben.